Hey.
Hi.
Hello. Hey guys, it's your weird Cupid bow highlight queen Elvis obsessed best friend cat sketch here today to bring you another beauty chit chat get ready with me makeup vlog video. You guys have been obsessed with, well, not obsessed. Who am I to say that? You guys have been loving my videos of me chit-chatting about just life in general while doing some beauty makeup. So today I thought I would do that today. I saw this picture from this Instagram account called Pigment with like under those slash bottom bar things. And it was this picture of this beautiful rainbow. Is it a wig? Is it a weave? But these black and a rainbow like highlight pigments throughout the hair inspired me so much to where I want to do like a pastel goth rainbow eye look to where there's some black in it, there's some rainbow colors, and I'm gonna dip into this palette hoping there's enough rainbow colors in this makeup murder scene, crime scene investigation palette that I love that I don't use enough of. So that's what we're gonna do today while talking about lies that our parents told us that we believed as a child, because I was recently talking with one of my bestest friends on the phone about life insurance of all things. That's how boring an adult we are sometimes. We go from Bob's Burgers, Tiger King means to life insurance, how to clean the inside of our washer. That's just how life is in your 30s, I guess. Well, I'm an elderly grandma. But we were talking about life insurance, and that was one of the lies that my dad told me, because I didn't realize until now that everyone was like getting life insurance, and it's such a personal topic, I know, but my father used to tell me, I love this under eye corrector, by the way. Just look at the difference. My father used to tell me that life insurance was for idiots because it was just putting reward money on your head. It was putting your life on a gambling lotto ticket, because life insurance was for dummies. And my dad doesn't believe in life insurance. And that was one of the first lies that my dad told me, because my best friend Chelsea had to explain what life insurance to me was in my 30s. Because if anything happens to me, my next of kin, that's how we say it in the South now, would be stuck with the bill without any help of me being buried, cremated, or what have you. I didn't realize that. There's so many things that I'm realizing now as an adult that you have to do. There's so much maintenance. There should be an app that tells you when you're supposed to. I didn't know that you had to go deep down with a vacuum cleaner. You could do that in your dryer lid in your dryer. You also have to drain out your washing machine. Didn't know this. And just so many things. At least I know how to pay taxes. But there's so many other things in life that I did not know about that I feel like I missed out on. And so I thought of all of these lies that I grew up, not only from my parents, my aunts, my uncles, just everyone who raised me. It takes a village to raise a multicultural weirdo child like me. So we're gonna talk about that today. This is gonna sound crazy. I need to make a video about weird things that, you know how people and certain family members do things that are really weird and you don't realize they're weird until like you hang out with other people your age and you do the said weird thing and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, this is, your grandma doesn't make you poop and pee in a can? I am not kidding you. So when I grew up, I'm gonna sound really ratchet right now. Hold on, wait for it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. My grandma, she used to have us, because she only had one bathroom, when it was occupied, she would have us go to the bathroom in one of those Costco sized tubs coffee cans. I kid you not, because my grandfather would take 5 million years in the bathroom, and now that I'm older and wiser, he was probably just getting away from her, because sometimes couples, they just need distance and they don't always get distance, and he wasn't probably that good at taking care of us, but my grandma was. So instead of bothering him, or maybe he was drunk or whatever, she would have us just go to the bathroom when we need to, because when you're 3 or 4 years old and you need to go to the bathroom and you can't hold it and the bathroom's occupied, she would just bust out. It was a U-Band brand Costco size coffee can that I would piss and poop in, and I was like, how did I live? I sound like a puppy that grew up in a kennel sometimes. In like the squatting position, one time she told me that it's healthier for you. Just all these random things that parents, I feel like, come up with on the spot because they're trying to keep their children safe. And they feel like white lies will keep them safe over the truth sometimes. Like Santa Claus. We all believe this fat magical man would come down our chimneys. Sorry kids if you're watching this. And like, do kids really watch my channel? I don't know. They believe he would come down the chimney, save their day, give them all the joy. And don't even get me started about eating and food. I told you many a times that my family didn't believe in white bread or sugary cereal or butter or pepperoni pizza or macaroni and cheese or TV dinners, or they didn't believe in meatloaf, they didn't believe in shake and bake, they didn't believe in fish sticks or chicken nuggets that you get out of the freezer or pizza tortilla. My mom made everything. What they ate, we ate type of thing. But like what they ate was so much food, it's like, how are we gonna eat all this? I know parents always gave that excuse. There's dying kids in Africa. Mom, I know. But dying kids in Africa, if they got all this food, like they wouldn't be able to eat all of it either. They would get a fourth way through the mountain of delicious Asian inspired Southern food you'd make, and they would like want to throw up and pass out because it's too much food for their little tiny bodies. My mom was crazy. Like, we had to eat one of everything on the meal, even if it was like frog legs, snake, well, that wasn't often, but they would like have us try everything. All types of things. Octopus. And my mom would be like, you just need to suck it up and try it. Like, even if we didn't like it, I hated carrots, and she would tell me, you know, that old wives' tale. I say it's an old wives' tale because this is true. My mama would be like, if you don't eat this food of carrots, your eyes, she always go, Katie, my mom's Asian, Katie, your eyes will be damaged and you'll be blind. Carrots good for your eyes. And you don't want to be blind like me, my mom, because my mom is like blind as a bat. She had those thick rim glasses. Not thick rim, but they were just thick. Like, she always wanted a thin rim glass with thick lenses because she had such a bad problem seeing. My mom is like an Asian Edna Mode. I love her to pieces, but she always would want me to eat these carrots. Carrots and the tops of broccolis. Ugh. I like the bottoms of broccolis, but the tops, it's a textural thing. It makes me want to gag even now. Unless it's like smothered in cheese in a soup. But carrots, they say they have these vitamin A's in it that's good for your eyes. When in reality, you know what has more vitamin A's that's better for your eyes than carrots? Milk, eggs, and sweet potatoes. You know how parents would say, you know, if you chew gum and you swallow it, you won't be able to pass it through your system for days, like 7 days or more. Well, that turns out, Maury, I feel like I'm the Maury show, that turns out that that was a lie because it does pass through your system. Ask the doctor. I feel like the mothers, like, they had some sort of agreement with the pediatrician doctors, like, you know, just tell them that they shouldn't. I was told pepper and gum does not pass through your system when they actually do. I don't know where I got these lies from. It's like, Mom, what are you doing? I don't understand. I don't understand. Everything's a TikTok song now because everything, man, is like lies. I was growing up on lies. We would go to the Renaissance Fair when I was a kid. It was the best thing ever. I had so much fun. That's back when you could race rats at the Renaissance Fair. I know that sounds creepy and weird and disgusting. And you throw tomatoes at men in cages. This sounds medieval and crazy because it was. You could hurl hatchets, all types of weird things at the Renaissance Fair. And it was my favorite because I would eat shepherd's pie in these gigantic barrel pickles like nobody's business till I probably had a stomach ache after. From doing all these activities was the only exercise I got as a kid. Scratch that, I was in sports that I was always on the bench for. But other than that, those sports, I did this at the Renaissance Fair as a kid. And those barrel pickles, I would eat so much, my mom would only let me have one, maybe two if I was being good. Because we would eat so many dill pickles when I was a kid that my mom told us if we eat too much of the vinegary dill pickles and vinegary foods and acidic foods like dill pickles and lemons, I would eat lemons with salt and just like squeeze it in my mouth like a crazy person who was on drugs in the summertime until I had diarrhea all the time because I thought it was delicious. And my mom actually taught me that because she had an addiction to vinegary salsas and foods like I do. And I'm surprised that we haven't gotten ulcers yet. But my mom would tell me, so I probably wouldn't get an ulcer, that all that vinegary food, especially the vinegar in those dill pickles during the summer at the Renaissance Fair, was gonna make my blood turn white. And when my blood turns white, everyone's gonna know I'm gonna look and feel like I'm dying. And so I was terrified to eat a ton of pickles during the summer because of my mother telling me I was gonna die from all of these overdosing myself on dill pickles. My mom also drank coffee like it was going out of business, and I wanted to drink coffee because I thought it looked like adult hot chocolate. And I'm like, Mom, I want to drink coffee with you. This is a shared experience that we could be having a mother-daughter experience with. And I wasn't allowed to drink coffee until after I graduated high school, but I wanted coffee. You know, your first like initiation into coffee is like Starbucks, where you get those pink drinks and smoothies that say you can get it as coffee, but it's mocha, but it's actually just Frappalulucinos. But they're actually a little caffeine, more sugar in smoothies than actual coffee. So once I started like going into college, I got a job. I worked all the retail, and I was also like, coffee could be a drug, especially if you work like I worked in the legal field. I worked in a legal department. I was a paralegal. I don't know how I got that job or why they gave it to me, because I didn't know nothing about being a paralegal other than talking to people on the phone who were crying about to lose their homes, because we did foreclosure, home foreclosure, legal law office stuff. You could tell how unserious I am because I called it legal law office stuff. And my boss would drink 13 cups of coffee a day. I don't know how he did not die. And so I was the coffee girl, so I got into coffee. And my mom always lied to me, telling me coffee is going to stunt my growth. And my mom was 4'10". My grandma is 4'8". My grandma is so short, she'd get thick child sneakers because she wears a 5 in women's. She could wear child sneakers, the thick ones that have the lights in it. She's like, Katie, look at my shoe. Just smack her shoe on the ground, it'll light up like a Healy. That was at a rave party. My grandma's amazing, and she has a little afro. But they were all short, and they're so short that they have to wear platform sandals to wash dishes. So my mom didn't want me to be part of that life, and she thinks it was the coffee that made her short. I'm like, Mother, you're a full 100% purebred Japanese Wagyu beef in your blood, like udon noodle, sushi, sashimi coming out of your veins. Like, this is how we got short. My grandfather is 5'4", and my grandma's mother is 4'8". Like, we did not have a fighting chance here. It's not the coffee, miss. But my mom told me that lie my whole time, and I believed it. My eyes look like Ronald McDonald just threw up on it. Pride parade, here I come. I'm not mad at it. Another lie that our parents taught us was, do not swim after eating or wait a few hours. And if you ask a real life doctor, they will tell you, Maury, that was a lie. Because you don't get cramps after swimming or going in the pool. I think they meant like, if you're like probably Olympic swimming maybe, but if you're just like on a pool floaty noodle, living your best life, playing Marco Polo, well, Marco Polo's kind of an activity. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna die. We need a makeup wipe to really make this pop. Wait 1 second. Makeup a murder makes crime scene investigation caution tape for your eyeshadow, and I never use it, and I'm like, why not? Another thing that was a favorite pastime during the summer, when I would go outside and there'd be little froggies and toads outdoors, and my grandmother would help me catch them. It was a fond memory. So she wanted to ruin it somehow by telling us, do not put toads on your skin. Do not hold them because they will give you warts. And that is a lie, because children are just more susceptible to warts. They don't necessarily give them from toads and frogs and amphibian, so they're just lying. There's so many things with animals that I realized my mom was lying to me about. Like, my mom told me that if I held crows, I feel like she had this hate. My mom made hate crimes against crows. She hated crows. We had these giant trees in our yard, in our front yard, that was the biggest trees in our neighborhood. Peacocks would come to our house and try to break down our roof while we were on vacation, and we get phone calls about it. All the birds just loved our house because we had these gigantic trees, and especially crows, which have mob-like mentality towards each other. If they find a wounded one, they will go after that wounded crow and try to destroy it. So my mom hates crows. She just does not like them. I don't know what my mom had about around crows. But me, I wanted to be a fairy tale Disney princess, and Disney princesses always befriends animals. And I had, instead of blue jays like Snow White, I had crows. I'm like, let me be the gothic Disney princess I've always wanted to be and talk to these crows. My mother was not having it. She would scream at us because I find crow feathers. I'm like, let me collect the crow feathers. And I was just one of those weird kids. She was like, no, crow feathers give you lice. Just something she came up with from the top of her head. I don't know where she got this information, but my mom was like, no, you're gonna get lice. And it turns out birds do have lice, but you can't get bird lice unless you're a bird. My mom, I feel like, just didn't, she worked at a library, so she could have researched all of this information before the internet was out. She was a librarian for a very long time, most of her life, so I'm like, why didn't you just do the work? Instead, tell us these lies, mother. Another lie that my mom told me that I'm sure a lot of people hear, I think a lot of people grew up with their parents telling them that cracking your knuckles gives you arthritis. It makes your knuckles all big and bony looking. And my grandmother on my dad's side, she was like our adopted grandma. Do you guys ever have nanas and nonas and gammies and all that type of stuff? That you don't even know if you're related to them, but everyone just calls them that. I had one of those. She was amazing. I miss her to death, and I miss her biscuits and pie and brisket even more. No, I miss her more than her food. I'm not an evil person, but she would even go in with my mom on the lie saying that, look at my knuckles, Katie. This is from me cracking my knuckles. Do you want arthritis like your nana? And I'm like, no! So I would stop cracking my knuckles when in reality it's just fluid in between your joints and stuff that sometimes it just needs to be released. It doesn't need to be released. You can release it. I crack my knuckles all the time. I'm like, there you go, Mom. I feel like her ears are ringing when I crack my knuckles, even all the way in Texas, and she could hear it. Because growing up in an Asian household, you feel like your mother's always listening, that she has superpowers, that she's gonna throw her slipper at you any moment, her house slipper. Just how it is. Oh my gosh, since I grew up in a library practically, because my mother was a librarian, and I volunteered there for a very long time, I would always be reading books, especially drawing books. I loved drawing books. I wanted to read more on how to improve my art skill. So we'd have these drawing books that, and books in general, R.L. Stine I was really into, Scary Stories You Tell in the Dark I was really into, Goosebumps, all the good things. And I would want to read them at night to give me the super scares because I was also living in a haunted house. And my mother would get mad at me because my room was next to her room and she'd see me, notice me, she wasn't dumb, reading in the dark, and she'd be like, that's gonna damage your eyes. So I got a book, like, still did not pass her test. And that was a lie because it doesn't damage your eyes, it just gives you strain on your face. It just strained your face. Oh. What was that Disney villain laugh? That was sad. Speaking of eyes, you remember when your parents told you if you keep crossing your eyes, it's gonna get stuck like that? That was a lie. You ready for more crazy things my mother told me growing up? I had a ton of stomach issues, backstory growing up, because I was allergic to wheat, rice, gluten, barley, a lot of stuff. That was just food-wise. There's a lot of other things I'm allergic to that I didn't know I was allergic to. Milk. I could drink milk, but I can't have like more than one serving. If I have cheese, milk, milkshakes, because it's 2 different types of milk, ice cream and milk in one, I will be exploding from my every orifice. That sounds descriptive and disgusting, but that's what happens when you're Asian and you're lactose intolerant. So I would have all of these stomach pains, and my mom was like, I don't know, I just don't, she's sensitive. And like, no, Mom, I was just allergic for my whole life to all of these foods, and no one tested me for anything. Anyways, I had all these stomach issues, and the Japanese way to cure stomach issues, they had this old wives' tale story. I say it was a story because I don't even know if it's true, that my cousin had a similar stomach issue. I'm guessing it was just being lactose intolerant, and he wanted to go to the emergency room. It was so bad. But on the way, like, if you're gonna go to the emergency room, I feel like you would just go to the emergency room, not stop at grandma's on the way home. But they stopped at grandma's on the way to the ER, and she gave my cousin this drink of green tea, hot green Japanese tea. It has to be Yamamoto Japanese tea, because if it's not in my family, they will throw it out. And it has to be umeboshi, which is a Japanese salted pickled red plum. It sounds disgusting and looks like a blood clot, but it tastes good in certain dishes and with tea. And if you take a bite or suck on the umeboshi, that sounds naughty. This salted Japanese pickled plum, if you suck on that, take a bite of that, and then sip on this hot green tea, it will cure every ailment you have. Have a migraine, umeboshi and green hot tea. Have a stomachache, umeboshi and green hot tea. Have an ulcer, umeboshi green hot tea. If you have a hangover from being an alcoholic, umeboshi and green hot tea. But I feel like that wasn't true, because I remember always having that and it was not curing my gluten allergy. They just say I was born constipated, but I was allergic to everything that they were giving me. Rice. Even to this day, my grandma, she's like, Katie, after you're done with your no rice diet, I can't have rice ever in my life because I'm allergic to it. It makes me bloat like I'm pregnant. She said, after you're done with your no rice diet, I feed you brown rice. What? She means well. I love her. See, because Asians, like I've told you in many videos, well, my Asian family, their speech of love, their love language is food. And since I can't have said food because of my allergies, they're like, oh, she must not love us. She doesn't want us to show her our love for her. I'm like, no, Grandma. Allergic. Which she says she's allergic to pork because it gives her headaches, but I don't believe that. I just feel like she's choosing it. But maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's true. Because with all my food allergies, I must have got it from someone in that family. Unless it just popped up that I have at least 25 allergies. And just me. No one else in that family. Odd. Look at this gigantic Mount Vesuvius popping up on my forehead. Need to cover that. It's because I said the other day that quarantine life has been making my skin look like a radiant sea goddess. And I jinxed myself because life was like, ha! You guessed! And like, bleep. Are you ready for this video about to get personal? If you're someone in my family, please don't tell my parents. But the lies they told me even moved on from being a kid to adulthood. Because, let me give you a backstory. I'm not looking for pity. I'm just telling you how it is. In our household, we was told by both our parents, my mother and my father, that if we graduate from high school, you're a full-grown adult after, and you could stay here and save your money and live with us. But you have to, I was told this, have a job or stay in school or do both. And I was so paranoid that my parents would kick me out because I had no money. I was broke as a friggin' joke, that I would do both. I had a job and I went to school full time. And I was paying car insurance, car bills. Back in those days, I was paying my parents electricity, water, phone, all that jazz. But now, since I moved out of my parents' house, and I have a sibling that lives there still, that does not apply to him because he graduated from high school, only took one semester of college and dropped out without telling anybody, and doesn't do anything, doesn't have a job, and it only applied to me. You should have been specific, that's only to girls. I don't understand. I thought this rule was for every child that lives in this house. Apparently not. Another great one was, like I told you, I got my own car. I was paying off the car every month, and my dad, the trickery, the savageness, the lies, the white lies, I should say. This was with my first car. I don't want you to get into debt and have to owe car companies since you've never paid car payments before. So what if you get a loan from me for this car and then you pay me on your loan every month in case you get fallen behind? I'm not going to damage your credit like these companies will. You could just owe me the money still. I'm like, I thought my parents were looking out for me, you know, so I got this car. The car, like a couple years into it, when I was going to my college classes to and from my house, the car just died. It's down for the count. I know nothing about cars. If you're a girl and you don't know nothing about cars, I hope you learn or get someone, a friend, a guy friend, or a guy, or just a girlfriend who knows about cars, someone in your life that knows about cars that isn't your parent, that isn't doing this weird stuff to you. Because when that car acted like it was deceased, my father looked at it and was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna cost you so much money. You're gonna have to get my transmission blew. I knew that. You're gonna have to get a new transmission and all this other stuff that it damaged in your car on your way home and it getting towed. So, I think you should just get a new car, because the cost to fix this old Honda Civic is gonna cost so much that you should just get a new car, because the cost, just get a new car. It's the same price as fixing this old bucket. And this car was like my baby. I named it. I had a stereo system that I got for my birthday installed into it so that I can have surround sound better quality than what came with. I put time and care in my baby car, right? And then my dad's like, oh no. I'm like, dang it, I love that stereo system. I'm not gonna have a better stereo system than that, because me and my dad searched for that stereo system everywhere. Not gonna find another one like it. I have no hopes and dreams for myself. So my dad's like, don't worry, like, I'll sell the car for you and we'll put that towards what you don't have to pay me anymore, and we'll put that towards your other car for your down payment. I'm like, this sounds like a great deal, right? Turns out the repairs on my old baby car I called Jet, her transmission repairs were only $200. That was less money than my monthly payment on the new car that I already had bought when I found this out, since my dad knew I had a real life job working at this legal office I hated, because he was gonna give that car to my brother that dropped out. My brother that's, I love him, but like, man, the treachery. I thought that car was gonna be over $1,000 in repairs. And when I found out it was only 200, I thought that I just lost my mind. I was so upset. And then when you live in a household like that, you can't show emotion or like anger or resentment, because you live under their household and they're always right, man. That's just how it is in Asian households. Another white lie my parents told me, and I'm sure a lot of people's parents told them this, is that boys are mean to you, it's because they like you. It even happens with boys, and if girls are mean to you, it means it likes them. That means that that's putting in their brain, that they don't realize this, but I feel like it's put in their brain that when someone has mean-like tendencies, vibes, abusive behavior and tendencies towards you, that means they like you. But I feel like personally that I cut my eyebrows too short, and that person is going to be seeking out that type of relationship and personality in their future significant other, because that's what they were taught by their parents non-directly, that when someone hits you, has mean spirits and attitudes towards you, that means that they're attracted to you. And they don't think that when they're telling their kids, oh well, Billy is just beating you up and punching you because and picking on you and calling you fat stuff, it's because he likes you. When in reality, I feel like kids are jealous of other kids' attentions and that they're getting and receiving, and that they need to be taught by their parents, and your parent needs to stand up and be like, well, that kid is jealous of you and they don't like you, they're just jealous. Stay away from them, because you don't need that behavior, because you're a beautiful, growing child that soaks up all of this. You're like a sponge at that age, and so that stays in your brain when you're a kid, that they must like you. If they're being abusive, manipulative, if they're being any type of sexual misconduct, that means that they like you. But no, because it's not only boys to girls, it's girls to girls. It's not only girls to boys, it's boys to boys. And whichever other person or pronoun you refer to as, if they're being mean-spirited to you, that's their hurt reflecting onto you, and it's them. And I know that's so cliche, but it is so true. A lot of people are jealous of other people's happiness. Even as a kid, they're jealous of other people's happiness, and they're learning their behavior activities from their parents. And when their parents are trying to be nice, they think they're giving their kid confidence that they're so good looking, that this kid at 4 years old likes them. It's so stupid. It makes me so angry, because stand up for yourself. If someone's being mean to you, just stand up for yourself. Like, cut that crap out, because it's them who has the issues mentally, and they're reflecting all that onto you. And you are probably a gorgeous, nice human being who's just trying to live your best life and be yourself, and everyone wants to hide and be like everyone else, and individuality as a kid is stunted. And so when you're older, individuality stands out, and individuality makes yourself truly happy. And it pisses me off when parents tell their kids that, oh, he's hitting you because he likes you. And this could be a whole nother video, but we're gonna keep going on things that parents lied to you about. Don't let those boys hit you or girls hit you. I know it's hard, because I was hit on a lot as a kid. It sucks. And that's another thing. I was told that when I was a kid, I was too sensitive, because I was the only girl who was in my family, and I wanted to cry it out, pout it out. I was just showing emotion, because kids don't have like 2 or 3 emotions of happiness and sadness, and they have anger, they have crying, they have frustration, especially when you're going through those stages in life when you're really discovering that you're going through puberty and hormonal changes and periods and chest hair and all that. Your parents sometimes don't realize that you're human, and that you're this little thing that they always had to take care of, but you're your own person, even as an infant, and everyone's different. And sometimes they get frustrated and just look at a way to shut you up when you're crying, when they don't even know why you're crying or really look into it. I remember always crying because I was having PTSD, panic attacks from being abused, that I didn't tell them I was being abused. So I was called the sensitive one, that always wanted hugs and to talk things out. But that was a lie. I wasn't too sensitive. I just needed probably help. Anyways, on a lighter note, they did take me a lot of times camping, which was fun. I learned a lot from them. They're good people, but it's just crazy. Oh my gosh, I remember my mom always told me that shut up and stupid was a bad word. And like all the other kids, I just thought like the F word, the B word, all that other stuff was bad. But no, in our household, you couldn't say stupid or shut up at all, or else you would get smacked. I'm gonna do a little bit of this green in the inner corner, because it's one of my favorite inner corner highlights. This is ColourPop's Super Shock Shadow in the color Fizz. It's like if 7-Up had, or Mountain Dew had eyeshadow. I'm also gonna put Fizz as a Cupid's bow highlight, because why not? You know me, I love a Cupid's bow highlight. We stand for Cupid's bow highlights in here. Individuality, creepy ghosts, twisted, scary stories, and Disney. And Elvis, of course, and floral things. Duh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put some highlight, lashes, and lips, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, I am back with highlight, lips, lashes, all the essentials. I think one last thing that was a lie that was told to me that I need to get off my chest, that my aunt told me, because her children were all these little white kids, and they had freckles that I thought were magical, cute, adorable, and great. Then I wanted them and didn't have them. And she told me they were angel kisses, and that my cousin told me that angels don't love me then, because I don't got any freckles like she did. They were covered, and I was jealous. And once I was old enough and I thought I was getting freckles, it turns out I went to a dermatologist, and she's like, no, those are old age spots. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This look was so much fun. Shout out to Pigment on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you should definitely check them out. Inspired this look of like some pastel looking rainbows. I had so much fun doing a smoky eye look. I actually love eyeshadow tape now. I don't know why. The blurriness of the more organic rainbows and shading, and then the cut, like that smooth line on my temple, giving me life. You know I need a good Cupid's bow highlight. This one's lime green. So leave me a comment down below if you guys have ever heard lies that your parents told you that you didn't even imagine that was a lie until later on in your life. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Subscribe for more videos. I do videos every Monday and Friday here on this channel. I am so excited to be filming more things with this more organic talk, chatty type situation. I hope you guys enjoy. I love you, creators, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.